I am expecting a show from these two teams. I don't really see them banning Super Serious. If it was Super Serious, I think OG takes care of the Oracle for sure. It gets banned because that's Insania's specialty and they can play around it with a lot of stuff. So I kind of want to see a bit of a fun game, run at you, drafts, and something along those lines.
I'm happy just because I think these two teams are always ones that you can count on. Like, never, OG might mess around. Same with Liquid. They'll meme. They'll do some really weird drafts, some bad drafts, but they're always trying to win.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a shame that we never had like an in-house culture catch on in Dota, because of all the games, like this is the one where I feel if we actually enjoyed each other's company and over time pros didn't start to hate each other and then start queuing pubs and the in-house died, we could have a lot more games like this where you've got guys just kind of going out trying new stuff and enjoying the game for the sake of it, like these guys are about to do for all of our entertainment. They ban out the Oracle, as you said.
Yeah. It's that case, most of us, we get over our experimental phase in college, but these guys, they understand that you can still win games by in-event. I mean, one of the classics was Puppy with that Brewmaster in the 5 a year or two ago. That really caught on hard. Of course, the ban on the Bounty Hunter is kind of interesting, because I think that's been one of the heroes that people have been looking at a lot, especially with the Ags change. We won't get to see it, but Tinker being banned as well by the side of Liquid. Is this a hero you think benefited from the most recent patch, especially around the teleport changes?
It's one of No-Tail's mid-heroes, so I think it's just kind of a respect ban in that regard. I like the Mars ban. That's a boxy special. Mickey also, well, really all 3 cores of Liquid can play it if they need to. I think Tinker and heroes like it are what we're going to see first banned more often for the reasons we discussed the other day. If you go 4-1-1 with the drafting pattern instead of 3-2-2 with the bans, or 3-2-1 with the bans, you kind of have to get rid of the niche picks early on so that you can save the ban for a more meta-based selection. You don't want to be forced to ban Tinker in that second phase, and then all of a sudden you're open to, like AAs in the pool. You can't really first do anything that'd be countered by it if you're forced to reserve a ban for something niche.
Yeah, and you also have less bans to kind of counter that will counter your draft specifically. So
yeah, and I'm really glad. Sorry, but the Furion ban. I think this has got to be a thing. Like this hero is so busted. It's incredibly strong as a core and as a support. OG, I've said this, I feel like, for months now. OG drafted every TI, and it looks incredible when No-Tail's on it. I've seen Nigma do the same with Mind Control. I think he's the best offlane prophet in Dota. Sebs is also incredible. Why did this hero not get more play? It's got a global mechanic, Think about outpost control, rune control. It's just so good.
Did you see the change to his ulti now? You don't know?
I think some of the viewers might not. You should explain for them.
Okay, sure. His ulti now has longer cooldown, so it's always 90 seconds, but every unit to kill, you get 4, 5, or 6 damage, depending on the level of the ulti. So, for some period of time. So, basically, you do the burst anyways, and then, I don't know, you kill like 5 units, and you have a little bit more damage, right-click. So, that can work. That can work with pushing, or with ganking, or whatever.
Yep. I remember losing a game. God, that one hurt. It was some LAN, and we lost the team fight because our Furion ult never hit heroes. Because I had placed a ward. If you know where like Radiant Shrine used to be, top shrine.
Okay.
The ward saw the lane, so lane creeps came into vision as the ult was bouncing, and it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of killing the heroes, and we lost the game. But if he was to get damage from it, could have changed things. If I get a time machine, I'll hit up Ice Frog, and perhaps we'll switch things up. Snapfire first pick. This is OG and Liquid special. No surprise here. Still probably the best 5 in Dota, at least in terms of raw DPS output.
Do you just go Nyx now against it? I mean, the hero kind of completely counters the ulti. You do not have the ulti when you're Snapfire. The Nyx just walks in with the carapace. You get stunned. That's it. You maybe get 2 or 3 hits out. And I really like to play it against Snap. We have a Rubik. So,
yeah, opening the Rubik, I think the Nyx is definitely a hard shout. Like, when this hero, Snapfire, first came out, it seemed like the best counter in the game. And even with the nerfs, would you say Nyx just still feels like a very generic slots into most drafts type hero?
I don't personally like it because I think you're just such a weaker laner that Snap's lane, you're just giving Snap a free lane, and sure, in theory, you can interrupt the ultimate, but so can a lot of heroes. I think if you want to deal with Snap, you want heroes that have reach potential. Centaur's a perfect example. Very tanky. You just sort of ignore the little shredder. You can't even skill it against a Centaur because you'll deal more damage offensively by taking those hits. And in addition, you have that ability to jump on top of this super squishy 5 position. You've got to kill the Snapfire. That's the key. And I'd much prefer the Rubik here. There's the Void. We've seen this combination many times. However, this will be a difficult lane bottom. Rubik Centaur against Void Snap. I would heavily favor Rubik Centaur in the event that that's the way these teams match up.
Yeah, they maybe move the Snap to 4 and pick another position 5, though. Not many position 5s will do much against the Centaur Rubik. It's just too strong of a lane, in my opinion. You can't really hit them. Maybe some spammer will help, but even that, it's going to be extremely hard.
Do you think maybe you try and dodge the lane, set up something a little bit more aggressive, maybe free hero start, and try and leverage lane starts, force your opponents to TP first?
Well, Snap Void is not really a lane that you would like to try lane or aggro lane or whatever, so I don't think that they have that opportunity. I think they're just playing. Even if we lose the laning stage, we're still going to have superior team fight. Their Stampede is not going to do much, and we might ban out some save heroes and are just going to play around the chrono. Even if we are 4 or 5k gold behind, we might be able to win a team fight.
So definitely, could you see them as being a scenario where they actually try to find more synergy with the chrono, or do you think it's kind of like it's now its own compartmentalized strategy, focus on maybe lower cooldown heroes on the side of OG?
I think you just need something that can play with pace. Preferably something that can kill towers for you. Grimstroke, really nice synergy already just with the Rubik and the Centaur. It's surprisingly a significant amount of damage just for double Fade Bolt on the Grimstroke ulti. You also, whatever you steal if it's single target, like you do provide a huge punch, but it's also because I'm sure you take another melee core here. It's really good with the Centaur already just for the aggro shield, run in, land a double stun after the stomp. Very good against the Void as well. He can't leap away if he's tethered to someone.
And also, they could get a Wraith King, which would be really good to lane with the Grimstroke. In this scenario, I really don't know if I'd rather have a Rubik or a Grimstroke with the Centaur, because they're both insanely good. But if they pick a Wraith King, you have a really nice spell to combo with your ulti. So, and it's insanely good against the Void and the whole we're going to destroy in a teamfight scenario.
Yeah, I think the best quote on it I've ever heard said is, if you pick Wraith King for your carry when you know he's probably going to die, right? It sounds obvious, but like when you're up against things like the Void, it's just a given. There's not really many ways you can save him, especially when you've committed this much in your draft so far.
But back to your question, like you said, are they going to commit around that Void ulti? I'm not sure. Like, the Void possibly is not going to have a good lane. So maybe they want to have more things to put inside the chrono, since he won't be doing enough damage. I don't know if the Snapfire alone would be enough, but they pick a Clock. And what do you think? Maybe Clock starts safe lane?
Oh, that's such a great Lycan pick from Liquid. It's possible, but I already feel like OG are in trouble. If you look at the damage output, it's Snap Void. If Chrono's down, they are in some serious trouble. And we've seen this in the games before in, what was the series? When we there was that Bristle game. I think it was C9. They ran this like Troll, Bristle, and I can't remember the offlaner. A Centaur.
Yeah.
And you have these 3 super beefy strength heroes that peak in the mid game. Everyone's got like 2,000, 3,000 health in a neutral item, and you just get ran at. And if you look at the damage output of the Snap and the Clock, if there's no Snap ultimate, you don't have DPS right now from these 3 heroes. So all of a sudden, you need something that can deal with these strength heroes. You'd really like some kind of tower push, because otherwise, you're also in a position where a Lycan with just Wolves and Necro can just kill your tier 2s at 10, 12 minutes, and you have nothing to provide pressure on the outside. I am not a fan of the Darkseer. It
doesn't do too well against the Lycan, right?
No, it's terrible against Lycan. He has a lot of base regen. He just last hits under tower for free, and later in the game, you don't kill him. He's going to pop ulti and chase you if he wants as well.
It kind of helps the Void do some damage, but other than that, I don't really see it. Clockwork also, not the biggest fan here. He's playing against the Lycan, who's going to have units, so Battery Assault, it's not going to be that effective. He's playing against a Rubik, who can always lift him, get him out of the cogs.
Well, I will say, I could see this being a Darkseer 4 Clock 3, which I think has just a better shot here, because the Clock needs to be ahead. If you look at these supports, he can kill both of them. He's very good against the Centaur. And if he's powerful enough, he can maybe go toe-to-toe with the Lycan. He could get an early Necro Book, a Blade Mail, maybe later in the game a Halberd. Like, he can be formidable. Whereas Darkseer, no matter what, he's going to put ion shells on somebody and buy a mech.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like Saxa likes to farm, and Seb likes to move around, so that could be a good way to play it out. So
because that at least equalizes it, because then they have a timing, right? And then you have a playmaker that can come online that sort of buys space for the Void. You need to be able to fight without Chrono, and then Void has this luxury of, oh, I can TP in and take this team fight as Liquid looks to collapse and force an objective with their Lycan Centaur combo. They ban the Ember. I think that's a perfect ban. You're against the Darkseer, and OG need a hero to play with tempo. This is the hero to do so. However, I do believe it is No Tail's choice. So what does he go for is the question.
Because that was my thought, right? It's like the way you're talking about these lanes right now, it feels like it looks more advantageous for Liquid, and it feels that OG need to leverage some sort of playmaking mid that can actually maybe reset the outer lanes if they do start to go the wrong way. So what are you thinking in terms of that, right? If you can't have something like the Ember that seems so good, what other heroes still fit that type of role?
Well, I think it's more about what heroes does No Tail play in this spot. I would just wager it would be a Han hero. I could see a Quap, even though I don't think that's great. They ban Huskar. Maybe a Viper, perhaps. You remove the passives from both the Lycan and the Centaur.
But they banned the Huskar, so maybe he wants to play some melee hero. Maybe Monkey King wouldn't be too bad. Kunkka?
I think Kunkka or Monkey is fine here, but I think you need a little more catch, and I want some mid-game team fight. You know that this Lycan draft will be running at your towers between 10 and 20 minutes. You need something strong enough to fight it. This works as well. Mid-game team fight, as soon as you have split. This hero was also just significantly buffed up, and it's very good against the Lycan. The AoE Dispel will immediately kill the Wolves. I believe it immediately kills Necro 1, at least it used to. I'm not sure what the numbers on it are nowadays, because I haven't seen this in a while. And
whatever, it's going to keep them low, so the Iron Shell will take care of them anyways.
Yeah, it's something like, you know, Liquid's going to run at your towers. Brewmaster's only real weakness is split push and being dodged, whereas if you know they're coming at you, he's ideal. And I actually really like this pick. This somewhat salvages their draft in terms of how are you going to survive the onslaught, but you now give Liquid a shot to just counterpick you in the laning phase.
Yeah, they can destroy him. They can go SF, they can go Viper, they can go anything that's kind of harass heavy, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble, at least when it comes to the laning stage. So that's the only problem I see. And maybe even OD for the saving the chrono. That's also an option, but I feel like they want something a little bit faster.
Yeah, and it's tough though, because really Brew, it's kind of forgotten in the meta, but you can't team fight into this hero. I remember like 3-4 years ago overhearing a conversation Fear was having with, I think it was Bulba, just about how they had picked an Undying and like a Phoenix because they wanted to fight the Panda. And Fear's like, yeah, well, this was stupid, and they lost because you can't fight Panda. And that's what I'm looking to see Liquid do here. Shift the draft a bit, maybe even get something. I wouldn't say Alina, maybe a Quap or a Puck, something that doesn't care about clockwork at all. There's effectively no catch for a Storm either. It's a very good Storm game. That works too. Oh, should have seen this coming. This is the Brew counter. The huge silence to prevent split, the drain, you have a laning phase matchup, and the Pandas actually just die because the fire has to be in melee range, which is max DPS for the Death Prophet.
Do we have a way maybe put Void in mid? Not really. It's not gonna work yet. The Panda needs the levels.
I mean, you'll be fine in the lane, but this is a really cool pick. And if you look at this draft, it's like, oh my, what do you do? If you don't have Chrono and Brew split up, how are you going to defend? Even honestly, I actually don't even think Chrono matters. It's the Snapfire ult and the Brew split. Yeah, exactly. Because there's just no damage without these abilities active. You might Chrono which core do you Chrono and kill?
No, it's true.
Yeah, but look at this. The Panda, Fire Panda, has been buffed. It ticks double what it used to. So it's kind of, I think they lowered the damage a bit, but now it ticks twice as often. So with the Iron Shell, I actually think it does insane amounts of damage. And OG are one of those teams that like to innovate, that come with a new thing, and they just start stomping everyone with it. So maybe we're going to see that here with the Immolation Panda running in. It's very fast. It has an Iron Shell. You don't really want to turn and fight that ulti, so maybe that's the way they can fight. If they win 1 or 2 fights, delay the pushes, the tier 1 towers don't all fall till minute 15, I think they can be actually fine in this game.
But I think they won't. I think Liquid is going to crush crush this. I love their draft. It's their comfort zone, and to me, this is both great. It's great for the team, for the matchup, and for the meta. And when I see that, and it's just this is mwah. I think Lycan is also super busted. Lycan and Furion were my two heroes for the last 2 months, and I'm just like, why is no one picking these? Liquid's got this one.
Well,
I'm going to go with OG. I believe that this can work. On all the points that Kyle said, I can agree on. The draft looks amazing, but I feel that these guys should not be underestimated ever, even with a lineup like this. Really? And I think they're onto something here when you look at this panda with the ducks here.
All I'm saying is, OG, talk to me when you win 3 TIs. 2, anyone can win 2. It's 3. Then I'll start to, I'll see it differently.
Okay.
Well,
that's fair.
Yeah, there's sides to this. I can see both sides. For Liquid, it seems a little bit more aggressive. They've got the ability to push down towers. On the other side, can you ever really count OG, especially when they throw that curveball of Sumail on the 5? And honestly, if it's Carl backing Liquid, maybe you just double down on OG. I'd like to know what our casters have to say, though, because I imagine maybe some conflicting opinions, boys?
I personally think that it's hard to see OG losing a game where they're kind of as full 5, trying new things. That's where I think that they're strongest. But at the same time, they're so mixed up right now. Maybe Liquid will get the advantage.
Carl did put it well. You know, their draft is so disgusting to look at. Lycan is such a good hero. Yesterday, it was always first phase banned, pretty much in most of the series. It is just such a strong hero. And when you look at OG's draft, sure, it's cute. It plays off the elements that OG like to play off. That ability to go aggressive. But you can't really go aggressive when they're running at you so easily with a Lycan DP.
Yep, I think it's going to go one way or the other. Either it's going to be quite a close game and we won't be able to tell, or maybe Liquid will just find their momentum and crush OG and make them look like papigas.
Or whatever they said on the panel, yeah.
Alrighty, let's get into it. Game number 1, Team Liquid versus Team OG here at the WeSave charity event. I'm going to start things off with No-Tail in the middle lane, and if you just tuned in, you know, maybe you don't watch the panels and stuff like that, No-Tail is going to be playing mid, Madara is going to be playing carry, Sumail is going to be 5, and Seb is going to be on the off lane. So it's all a bit crazy right now, but hopefully we're going to see some fun, and personally, I want to see a Snapfire Axe. I've been calling for this since the tournament started.
Well, they didn't actually mention the fact that they picked the Void only to deal with the fact that Sumail might, obviously, if he's got ping. So now it's not that hard for him to hit the ult because you got the chrono. So it's a ping-based draft. There we go.
Ping-based draft.
A concerning reality that we live in.
Yeah, true. So you've got even more lead time on those on that Snapfire ulti. Then you're gonna have to try and really make him work, get the real predictions coming. You've got to pretend everyone's like 20 seconds in front of you.
But no, going to Saxo, you get the just can't even talk, honestly. Put my teeth in. Let's put my teeth in. Right, there we go. Right, so Clockwork just put in the creep wave. You, like they said on the panel, you don't really have much to do in this lane. The Darkseer, he doesn't really apply much pressure, especially with Lycan. With the patch, you have additional regen. It's now, I believe, 2 at level 1 from your Feral Impulse. And also, he has pretty good armor, so you're not going to feel that much pressure from the Clockwork Darkseer.
Missing a CS there as DP, a strong start to the middle lane, 10-1, but Tiger up at top, might be going down here, but lifting them both into a 2-man stop is going to save his life there. Cute play coming out from Liquid and keeping them alive, and even Madara getting a decent amount of harass out onto Boxy in return. Sumail getting kind of low as well, but everyone just kind of hanging out. It's a weird sight, isn't it? Madara and Sumail in the same lane. These two,
especially with Sumail playing the fight. I still can't get over this.
It's we got to readjust a bit, don't we?
But seeing No-Tail mid, I think we saw it in the bans as well. His mid hero pool is like Tinker, maybe Brew. I think DP is another one. Again, Meepo is more of a classic option, I guess. But yeah, it's just
IO.
Yeah, we're not at the TI patch.
I don't know what we're doing.
IO core's not too hot nowadays.
I miss it. I do. Seb being slowed down. They're going to throw down the Inkswell onto the Wolves as well, and it looks like this Darkseer might be in some trouble. They're turning to aggression onto Mickey, and they're going to stop for now because Saxo is behind. And there's not much more Liquid can do here, but still, the Lycan having a good time. 17-1 currently compared to the 15-0 from the Darkseer. So not bad. No clear advantage just yet.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of kill potential in these lanes. It's all about if the support puts himself in an awkward position. So again, like the top, the Rubik stepping out of position, he most likely could die, as we just saw. And equally with bottom as well. If Grimstroke steps out, he might die, but it's hard for these lanes to kind of convert into kills.
That's true. That's true. We're going to have to wait a little bit for...
Already running back to base. Poor No-Tail, man.
Poor No-Tail.
He is in a matchup which is very much like DP likes to play against these melee heroes that don't really push out the lane that much. And
Yeah, for sure.
he hasn't been able to play off any rune. He hasn't got like maybe that 2-minute regen.
Oh, bottom lane, Insania is going to go down, though, getting run down by the Clockwork with those pesky battery assaults of his. Meanwhile, we have a courier kill up the top. Somehow courier dying, and nearly Smil as well. She's getting dragged in here. The stun is out.
So
the
much
return damage as well. My goodness, they melt him, and Madara, he's got to have a time warp, but he doesn't have one available for another 2 seconds, and they're going to get both of them up in the top lane. So OG, I mean, they get first blood, but Liquid just comes slapping right back, and yeah, that's
Insania popping off, right? Like, what's this tip for?
If you're on 5,
Yeah.
you're on 5, that wouldn't have happened. We're tipping you because you thought you could play mid.
Yeah. He's like, nice draft, bro. But as soon as you use that time walk, that's when you have that potential threat of dying in that top lane. You want to hold it as long as you can, and even if you get that chip damage, you play off your regen. But look, this is what I mean with the Lycan. He's never going to die here. Even if he gets caught within clogs, the battery assault is tanked by the wolves. He's perfectly fine.
Yep, he's rocking it right now, though they are dropping quite low on the
he has
side
the head
of,
press as
OG.
well.
Yeah, South coming out. There's no way to cancel this between the two of them unless they level Rocket Flare. So for now, a nice healthy Lycan in the bottom lane. He's a happy doggy so far.
But this is kind of what you want to have your Darks have a decent time, because we saw it so many times before, where the Darkseer, he gets early levels and he plays off that tempo of running around. You can see it right now. They're going to want to play as 4 heroes and try and make enough space for Madara to farm in kind of that pocket of space behind. An OG classic. Madara needs to obviously roleplay Anna in this and try and get some boss tier farm.
Cookie dodged out by Tiger beautifully, as the Void will head up over towards the stealing their bounty runes, but still, nothing done. And bottom lane, they get Saxa. Mickey is able to bring him down, and Grimstroke heading the same way as well. I mean, Insania's going to be the return kill here. Seb, is he able to outrun? Meanwhile, in the middle lane, No-Tail goes down. Action across the map right now. My goodness, this is a bloody laning phase thus far.
And it's going in Liquid's favor. Like, they're the ones up right now, already got 4 kills, 1k, and you want to have your Lycan DP have a good game. If they start off really well, then they're going to be able to have that tempo to push in the towers really quickly. And it's easy for me to say that, right? But it's so the laning phase is so built for Liquid. Like, even though they showed this Lycan early, and obviously DP was last pick, like, it's so hard. You can't counter the last pick DP, and you've already got to a point where you've picked Void, Snapfire. Like, okay, how do you now deal with the Lycan as well? Like, they have quite a lot of issues to deal with, but OG's playstyle, that's how they deal with being at a disadvantage in these drafts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, the laning phase not perhaps going their way right now. Smell getting dragged into the fray once again. Getting zapped down. Does have the cookie getting under the tower box. He wants to chase. Does he have the speed? He's going to try and go for this one. And Smell, I'm not sure he can... Oh, he turns around.
He's got the bugged animation. Look at him.
This is a great idea, because now this Flood Blast going to come out. Madara, though, not wanting to chase any further than this. Not relying. He doesn't believe in the bashes. Madara. And that means the Centaur gets himself to safety.
It'd be interesting to see how No-Tail plays with his level 6. Like, is he going to continue farming mid? He doesn't, like, normally with a Brewmaster, even though we haven't seen it in a long time, it's that first initial level 6 and then that ultimate turns into a kill. When you're laning against a DP, once you ult, you're giving multiple targets for DP to siphon off, so it's not going to be an easy kill. So it's
not a good target.
I think maybe playing off of the 8-minute rune, and I think killing this Lycan will be the critical play. Maybe freeing up some space for Sumail to get some farm mid could also be another option, because you want that range hero that can push out the lane. And Snapfire is a hero that loves to do that. And Sumail, if he gets a little bit of farm, he might be able to transition into at least a position 4.5.
Stun out. Madara in some trouble. The damage is there, and they will get the kill. Down he goes. There is so much damage coming out from this Rubik and this Centaur. These guys really are dominating the top lane so far. And mid lane, they're going to go for something here, and Koikva's going to be the target. Saxa coming in. 3 heroes coming into Koikva, but that's 3 heroes to Spirit Siphon. Koikva's not even getting that low. He's still about 50% HP. They're using the split. Everything they've got to take him down, and finally will be able to do so as the TPs are cancelled out. Meanwhile, Boxy nearly dying to a Centaur. I don't know what that's about, but
if
anyway.
only they had Stampede there. Boxy was like level 5 and it was a quarter of the way there, and if he had that, then it'd have been so good, but unfortunately not.
But still, I mean, that's something quite important for OG in the middle lane, to take down that DP who was previously having a very good lane, and it won't change the fact that she's still looking pretty damn good, but there we go. Just like to point out that we do now, we've hit 131,000. So that's over 10,000 raised by the community so far on that donation. So thank you very much. And someone just donated $1,000 there as well. So thank you, Dan HQ. Awesome stuff. I'll get all the details of how to donate will be on the screen. And you can also do so with cheering in Twitch as Insania looping around on this middle lane. It's only Samel here right now, though.
Yeah, this is the hero that...
Oh no, he came to mid once and now he's like, wait. He's forgotten where he is, what he's playing, and now he's getting jumped upon by Insania. The Ink coming off, big damage coming out, and they will dive at the tier 1, and immediately Koikva's just like, yeah, give me this tower. Gonna finish it off with the Exorcism here.
Yeah, it's the wall behind tower that makes sure no one can rotate in. They might. They're trying. What? They're trying. Will they? No, they won't. It's a DP with ultimate. No.
Okay. Running at the DP when she's already used ultimate is questionable, but Koikva getting low. Maybe they'll be able to finish this one off. Seb and Notel, they're chasing, but they're also losing their health. But Notel just coming in forwards. But these ghosts, they're going to return in the Spirit's Life and keeping Koikva alive as well. What looked to be a bad idea is turning out to indeed be exactly that. Now Stampede being used for them to actually come forward and chase here as they're looking to bring down Notel. And Sania is there, and they will be able to finish up with the Crypt Swarm. Meanwhile, Seb playing around, doing a bit of jungling because he realizes there's no real threat left, I guess. Throwing the Iron Shell onto Madara as well as he continues to chase Tiger. But Tiger steals his time walk. It's a little bit of chasing going on here, but no one will be caught. And that's going to put an end to the foray in the middle lane.
That was actually really nice. We have when DP uses phase boots and you pair that obviously with the Inkswell, that additional move speed is kind of like a weaker version of Surge and phase boots, and that additional move speed just gave DP enough to get away from the Darkster and the Brewmaster. The Centaur, as you can see from the quick buy, going for that Blink Rush. He knows that he doesn't need to buy auras, he doesn't need to be tanking this game. Like OG, they're going to want to run at you, and Liquid, they want to run at them. Like there's going to be a big clash. The difference is Liquid want to fight near objectives, and if OG, they can play smart, play deep on the Radiant side, force these ultimates to be used away from objectives, then Liquid will feel like they can't move deep into the map and actually take any kind of control, because of course if they're wasting their spells, then how do you hit buildings?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it all comes down to. The objectives. Meanwhile, Insania being taken down by Notel. Notel popping that split once again, but Koikva has TP'd in. He's got a double damage as well, and they're going to go for Seb on the backlines instead of the big tasty brew on the front. But nice Cogs holding back the Centaur and giving his own life to try and make sure his teammate gets away. Meanwhile, Insania gets killed off by Notel, but now he comes back to regular form pretty shortly, and there are a lot of Liquid members looking to punish this one. Silence comes out, damage coming through as well, and Notel will be dropped like a rock down to the bottom lane. Samael and Seb are here as well. I'm not sure this is a party they should be invited to. Meanwhile, Tiger running around with that stolen primal split, showing off, having some fun, finding the extra hero. Tornado comes out. They're coming forward for this one. You betcha. Liquid, they're hungry, they're thirsty, they are everything right now. They are all over Seb's case, and they're going to take him down under a tier 2 tower.
And then one by one.
Stop! The feed train is really starting to gain momentum. Liquid OG. This is...
Yeah, Liquid are showing no mercy right now. They're just coming in. They get... From draw, from play, even for all these moves right now, you just see Centaur on the minimap as well, just farming up the entire time. Like, the only way OG can fight right now is if they play together as 5. They need to combo, but they don't have the levels. They didn't have the outpost. Sumail's only level 5 at 11 minutes.
Dragging them around here. He's going to give his life. OG looking for something on the backlines here, but that's not going to happen now. Stampede coming out as well with the 2-man silence, 2-man lift, boom, down together, setting up the Inkswell as well as they jump in forwards, but in comes a Chrono from Madara. Doesn't have much health, and Chris Wall's going to finish the job. Oh dear, it is falling apart at the seams right now. Samel getting stomped up, beaten down. The support player is dead, and Seb, the lone man to walk away from this. Is he even getting away from this one?
He's got Surgeon 1. He should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Unless he turns around.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
Okay, all right.
And meanwhile, Centaur's still farming in the top side of the map. This is literally a 4v5 from Liquid because OG, they don't have the levels. They're trying to make these plays. Sure, they get the Chrono, but then Sumail's just looking at the Chrono like, well, I don't have any damage to put into this. So
I do not have my health.
What are we going to do about this?
Bit of a pickle, some would say. Yeah. Samel level 12 minutes in and still doesn't have that ultimate ability.
Like DP, like this is literally the best DP game there ever is. Like even if you Chrono her, she naturally will buy Hood if she wants. Satsuka's running in by himself here, getting caught by the Inkspawn and Centaur combo. Like they have no place on this map right now.
Onto Notel as well. Going for a bit of a run here. Split being used defensively here from Notel. Maybe finding something onto Tiger, but they're going to kill off the Wind Panda. Maybe look towards the Fire Panda as well. No, they're cool. They've done what they came here to do. kill off 2 heroes, force out a split. Just all the momentum is just being lost from OG right now, and they are starting to really get
There's
corrupted.
the Yules. Goodbye, Surge. And
Nice Surge, bro. TP out, but nope. Boxy coming in from the sidelines and taking down Seb.
Liquid are ruthless, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they're being given the opportunities, but you know, I think we did all talk about how this draft was likely to play out from Liquid, right? This is the kind of consequence of the heroes they've picked. They want to run at OG. They've got their running shoes on. That's what this draft is. It's a pair of running shoes. Point straight towards the enemy base. Go, go, go. Kill heroes. Find kills. Find objectives with the DP ult. And have a nice time. And of course a Lycan as well.
Dark's is top net worth for them. This is so sad to see, actually. And like you can see, like look at them pressed into their map right now. They're farming just the neutrals that are coming in.
Oh right, I thought they're just throwing down the chucks. They were like, yeah, that's too sad. We don't need to look at that.
Yeah.
But no, Roche cam. Gonna show that Roche is up and has an Aegis.
Oh, that's good to see.
Yeah, wasn't sure.
Potentially could be taken with the next DP ultimate. You know that there's only 2 tier 2s left on the side of OG. You don't like both of these areas are kind of hard to siege because obviously they're in choke point areas. So you might want to opt to go for the Aegis, but I feel when you're 10k up, you don't really care too much.
No, you do not. There's a smoke now coming out, or an Invis rune from Boxy actually. He's watching Madara. The big target here. Kill off this. Oh, they're actually going for Seb instead of the middle lane.
This
because they've got,
disgusting combo.
This is brutal.
That is
Invisible
vile.
walls with the Inkswell on them. You can't really warrant buying detection for walls, but at the same time you don't want to get stunned up. And now Madara coming in, go for the Chrono Spear, and now comes a Mortimer's Kisses over the top. Vacuum coming through as well, but they don't really get that much up. And now the stolen Chrono from Tiger, holding the rest of OG still, and allowing them to just completely dismantle No-Tail. But Koifa has gone down throughout all of this. They are fighting without him, but they're going to try and go for this anyway. Milan Samel being chased away, but he has got that surge to keep him healthy, but now there's nothing for Madara here. Madara needs to run. The Wolf is hungry, but the Wolf isn't that healthy. Now Boxy comes in, nice 2-man stop, allowing them to kill off Saxa. Seb as well, looking in a bit of trouble. He needs to find a way out of this one, but he's stuck. There's so many units around him, he can't make himself scarce, and he's going to get dropped. Phantom's Embrace stopping him from surging away as well. That's going to be a further 3 kills in the middle lane for Liquid. They do find Koikfa, but Samel struggling to find his way back into the base here. But
like, let's be real here. What can OG do? Like
that was their moment. That was you know, we've got Chrono, we've got Mortimer's Kisses, but unfortunately when you're 15 minutes into the game and it's the first time using this combo, it's too damn late. The heroes are too tanky.
If you want to try and win a fight right now for OG, you need to try and get that critical Chrono off, catching off maybe the supports, layering that with the Snapfire ultimate as well. And then meanwhile, your Brew maybe needs to control the Lycan with his ultimate form, try and tornado him, get him out of the fight, stop that aggression coming onto your backlines. But then you have to ask your question, where is your damage after you have the Snapfire ult? Darkseid doesn't really do damage, Clockwork doesn't really do damage. Like, there's no damage right now on OG. They rely so heavily on potentially outplaying in the laning phase and then getting the early items to bridge the fact that their draft fundamentally doesn't have the spells to give them damage in these early team fights.
100%.
Like, the best thing they can do right now is split up the map, try and kind of force Liquid to look back and try and get into these deep pockets. But the issue is, this playstyle doesn't work that well when you have such easy and clean objective-taking heroes as DP and Lycan. They now go for Roshan.
I know why they've been tipping No-Tail, by the way.
Oh, why is that?
He put out a tweet beforehand saying that
he
would for every tweet he would put in an hour of practice.
Yep.
Before the next official match.
That's very nice of him.
An hour of research. So yeah, I mean, you know, let's see. You better be counting.
Okay.
It's looking like a lot of hours right now. Studying Dota.
These guys do it anyway, so.
True. I don't think.
Clearing up the Ancients as 3 heroes is probably the best play they can make right now, honestly. Like, they have no place on the map at all.
To be honest, this is a bit of a slower pace for Liquid than I was expecting. It's 17... here we go. All right, we find ourselves a Stampede, and Saxa trying to make them work for this one. He kind of knows he's dead here, so just try and make him really work for it.
He can't stomp right now because of the battery assault. Now he can.
Yeah, it's just tipping him on the edge of the range there. And oh, those were not the cogs you wanted. What that... Okay, well, getting sucked into those regardless, even though he looked pretty far away, but I think it was indeed close enough.
I think the Rubik also has stolen Surge, I believe. That's what, he has.
I saw someone looking very quick, yeah.
So with the Centaur phase boots as well, like, he's going zoomies right now.
Max speed Centaur. Yeah. Terrifying prospect.
And the reason why the game slowed down very slightly is because Liquid obviously didn't have ultimate on DP from doing Roshan. So now they're going to be poking mid. This again.
Going for the Chronosphere. Where are those kisses? Well, unfortunately, Samel is lagging, so it takes a little bit of time for them to come through. But they're still able to kill off Mickey. It's a good start to this fight. What more can they do? Koifa's being used up in the middle of this one right now by No-Tail, but the stolen kisses coming in from the side here. But Sax has got him locked down. He's got inside the cogs. No-Tail trying to deal with Koifa and the rest. Meanwhile, on the front lines, they're able to take down Tiger. And now looking towards Boxy as well. Liquid are split and they are weak. Boxy being beaten down. Meanwhile, No-Tail doing a great job and just zoning everybody else. They're able to take down Boxy. Samel with the triple kill. They take down Insania as well. OG, finally find a fight here. And, you know, it was unconventional. It looked messy. But when Liquid are broken up like that, they don't have their DP to play around. They don't have their Lycans to play around, the supports and the Centaur.
But why are they pushing there? Why is Liquid... Like, it was 40 seconds for DP ultimate. Lycan didn't even have the Aegis. He was right-clicking the tower. He's only got, like, Necro. He's not got, like, a BKB to play into this combo or anything. So they're putting themselves in a position to... Like, this is the only way OG can win, like, a fight within this window is no DP ultimate, Chrono the Lycan, and layer the perfect combo without allowing any supports to get onto the backlines. Like, because you're in your tier 2 area, it's so easy to play deep defensively. So I think Liquid feeling a little bit too confident there, trying to go for a bit of pressure, when in reality, this is the play that OG thrives off. They're going to always try and take a fight when they can, and they clearly knew the window in which they could actually take a fight when 12k down behind.
Exactly. I mean, this is what this team does. You know, they're not bothered about gold. They're not bothered about experience. They're only bothered about one thing, and that is the feeling.
But the real question is, does it even matter? Even though you die there, they're still going to be able to reset. They're still 8k up. They still have all their spells and items and the ability to push. So it was one really good fight from OG, but they need to have at least 2 more of these to get them back out on the map. Like,
sure.
You have this Void trying to push aggressively. I think the saving grace as well was, as long as you see the Centaur once, it's hard for Liquid to actually get that jump onto this Void. Sure, you got the Rubik, maybe the Grimstroke silence, but as long as they position correctly...
Ooh, Seb going for the TP. Box needs to guess it, won't be able to do so.
Yeah, that nice little kind of just behind the tree there gives you the fog, so they have to really wrap around into that tree line to find you. But
and a bit of chat wheel action coming through as well. Love to see it.
But No-Tail now, he can feel it, that one team fight. Now the heroes on OG can actually push out. Darkseer loves to push out lanes, obviously with the Iron Shell. You put that onto maybe Madara as well, he can push out lanes a little bit quicker. He's got the Maelstrom now. They have the potential, due to the items, and getting to this point, they can actually get their lanes out quick enough to maybe force Liquid to think, all right, we can't just go down one lane because we're going to have 2 lanes pushing into us. So surviving the first 20-minute onslaught, I think there's another 10 minutes of pressure coming out from Liquid, and then we might see it slowly turning. But BKBs for Liquid, I think OG are going to really struggle.
It's going to be a big timing, and Koikva's now finished off this Aghanim Scepter as well as the Yules, so looking pretty scary. A lot of ghosts going to be flying out. How do you cope? Well, they're going to have to find another miracle fight like the last one, but thankfully, Chronosphere off cooldown, Monomus Kiss is off cooldown, the combo is ready. If they can find a similar success as they did last time, then it will be a good engagement for them.
And OG, as he pokes this mid lane, if we quickly have a look at the mini, OG has really good vision for we take the fight whilst you're retreating. So if they can overcome the initial DP ultimate, and then they continue that fight utilizing the surge, moving into that river area, they're going to have a pretty good time just kind of chasing them out. So I think that's maybe a key thing to look out for in this next upcoming fight. But again, it's so hard for them to actually take a fight if Liquid hold their spells correctly.
Sure. 21 minutes into this one, and that is the Aegis running out. So Koikva, somewhat vulnerable here, definitely makes her a much, much tastier Chronosphere target. Can bring down that DP before she even manages to cast a spell, then the fights are going to look very good for you. But of course, easier said than done, especially when Liquid. They've seen that
they're all standing low ground.
Flare guys. And they are kind of challenging them, it almost feels like. The Void, he's really far back, and now they're going to jump forward. They're going on to No-Tail. They've got the Silence out with the Phantom Embrace onto him, keeping the Brewmaster from casting any spells. Now they're going to go for the hook shot up onto the high ground. Insania, he's going to get left behind, as in they go with the cogs. Insania's getting beaten down and will lose his life. Meanwhile, not too much else going on here, as they're going to throw out the Stampede. All right, never mind. Boxy coming to the backline, trying to finish off No-Tail before he can get off the ultimate, but he gets it off in time, and now in comes a Chronosphere with the vacuum, with the damage. Is it enough?
Nope.
They will be able to not do anything, and Samel loses life. Madara is getting low, and they're going to lose the Void as well. Oh dear me. The combo, it looked great. It looked great, but unfortunately...
It felt great, but then you realised you've got a Centaur with a pipe.
Yeah.
You have a way to cancel it. the vacuum looked beautiful, everything looked beautiful, and then reality sunk in. It was like, we don't actually have much damage yet. I feel OG, they are like, you see now 22 minutes, you got the DP ult running, Lycan's still alive, Necro Books loving life, very much fresh, hitting this tier 3. How are you going to stop it? Darkseid does not defend your towers.
Oh, and that dive
is even been picked off.
Zed under the tier 4s. The stun comes out, forced up away. Is it enough? Oh god, he walks back into the correct floor. They are just getting their source seasoned right now. Poor OG. Carrying side the base as Liquid will take down this first lane of Barracks.
It was kind of unfortunate here because this fight, if this was any, like, OG, look at the vision. Like, the fight in concept could have been so great, but they're playing in an area where they have such clean vision on Liquid's side to see Sumail getting this ultimate off, you get the cancel, and now, again, you have, like, this is so much harder for OG now. The game's quite simple in terms of being able to push out lanes once you have, when you have all 3 racks up, of course. But your draft struggles so hard. 1 rack's behind. The whole ability to keep the lanes out, to keep just momentum on your side is so hard. And of course, when I say momentum, it's very much trying to recover and get it back to neutral, because right now it's very much Liquid favored.
It really is. There's a long way to go, a long slope to climb, but, you know, with OG, it's always a case that you know they're going to try.
Yeah.
You know there's never going to be a point where they're going to be going, let's just give up.
They're the fairy tale team, you know? They find ways to make things happen that we don't expect. Will it happen here?
Harder than usual.
Hard, yeah.
And I'm going to have a naughty little pause here as we have Centaur, I don't know, just pausing the game. No reason given just yet, but yeah, just some time to reflect upon the state of the game. Roshan going to be respawning very shortly. Is OG able to take that fight?
It's so hard. Like, look at this net worth. You've got Lycan and DP both on 14k. So they're already 6k up on all these cores. Like, even if you're able to get one more item on the side of on Void or on even No-Tail, like what can No-Tail buy to make this game any better? He's just a walking ultimate. He's meant to be this mid-game control to allow him to play off of tempo, the rest of his team. But his Void's like 3 items away from being able to carry this game. Like, he needs to like full-on harness the OG, Ana. He needs to be able to 1v9 this game somehow. And I'm going to put a spoiler out there. You don't really 1v9 this game as a Void. Especially when you first phased it, and you're playing against a Centaur, the DP. Like, there's no way that you can itemize for all of these heroes, unless you're like 6 slotted or 7 slotted if you include Moonshard. Like, it's so rough for them right now.
It's not an ideal situation. Are we maybe getting an? No, we're never reaching Ag's Snapfire territory, am I? I need to let that pipe dream go, I think.
Yeah, no way. With these lanes, the way this game's going, we're barely getting enough farm onto our carry. No way we're going to get it onto Sumail.
I want to see the Brewmaster thrown in like a cannon and then getting the split off in the middle of the Roche
and
pit.
then instantly die
and
to a
Chrono
silent.
on top of it as well. Like,
yeah, maybe if
we're a while away.
Maybe if we went back to the beginning of this game and then maybe the Lycan didn't play at all. Yeah, if we'd done a full reset and played 4v5 because this draft is, Liquid, I think they've been very serious in this tournament.
Yeah, you can definitely
getting them vibes. Yeah,
have a look at some mentality differences here. Certainly, Liquid looking like they want to win, but you can't really blame them. You know, they've been struggling as of recent, and they're in a tough region, so you got to take your wins where you can get them. At the same time, OG, I mean, they're obviously not just rolling over for it. They're trying to make them work. They're trying to find their own strategy here.
Yeah, they'll always put on a show. They'll find a way. As you see here, smoking up.
Really close to this.
Seen by the scan, though. Seen by the scan, so they're not going to be too surprised. You can already see Radiant retreating from this area.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Time is money.
At the 25-minute mark, things start to quiet again as we wait for this Roshan. It's going to be a very, very quick respawn on the big boy, which is going to favour Liquid a lot. They've got those ultimates ready to go. I mean, so do OG, but when you're looking at Exitum and Stampede and Shapeshift versus Chrono and Split and Wall, in some games, that sounds pretty even, but in this one, it certainly do not.
No, it's not even at all. And the Centaur, he's going for the Ag, so he's going to be able to, even when they get this combo off, if they get this good Chrono, as long as the Centaur isn't in it, he's able to pipe them, he's able to ultimate reduce the damage, so even mitigating more of the impact of OG. I think you can maybe get to the point where you might want to, on Brew, when he gets to the fight, split, get this Centaur out of the fight. Don't let him get his spells off. Don't let him get any of his items off. He is like the control. But it's so tough. We're really kind of clutching in the hope to find a way for OG to get back into this. And I think moving back to that point earlier, it's about pushing out the lanes and don't try and commit to this fight. when we look at this tier 2 area, they were positioned on the low ground, didn't have vision on the high ground. Like, they're trying to go for a fight, but they're already at a disadvantage. So they need to slow down the game, try and get out of the tempo that Liquid has set, and try and move it more towards the game that they want to play. Because right now they're very much playing Liquid's game.
They are. At the same time, I mean, they've tried playing their game, you know, going for the team fights, going for the combos, and it's not worked out. Well, it worked out once. It didn't work out about 3 times now, so...
Even the itemization from Liquid is playing to win. They've got AC, Necro 3, instant BKB on Lycan. Sometimes Lycan's allowed to be a little bit greedier, trying to skip this BKB, but no. They want to get this dub, and they want to get it quick. Smoked up, trying to potentially contest this Roshan. I think this is probably one of the best plays that OG can make. Roshan, you centralize the entire team. It's a choke point. Your draft plays around this, but Liquid, they don't need to commit a lot of resources to do this. They can force OG here, stop them from farming, then they, like, OG are on the back foot. So when you move to this area, Liquid can like pressure it with 1 hero to continue to farm, whilst OG have to bring 5. If they don't bring 5, you get picked off, suddenly Roshan's free for Liquid and the game's over. As you can see from just the spread on the minimap right now, look at OG completely condensed, whilst Liquid, they're being a little bit more blasé. They got their Lycan bottom and other heroes top. The main reason why Lycan is bottom is simply because if he TPs to this tier 1 tower top or even this middle tier 2, he has the ultimate to get into the fight if needed.
Yeah, he's got an entry point, doesn't need anything else. Doesn't need to be there in their faces. And it's feeling a little bit tense here as both teams start to step around, but with his bottom lane pushing in, this might actually give Liquid the opening they need. Someone has to defend this, and Madara's going to be the one.
Look at him, Maelstrom, BKB, 28 minutes, nowhere even near the Mjolnir. Like, this is some poverty void right now.
Yeah, he's living a strained life currently.
Darkseid's still top net worth for him. He's the only one that can actually go to lanes safely. Like, other than these lanes that Madara's farming underneath in his area, it's the Darkseid who's shelling out and keeping the waves out. But smoke up from Liquid, they're getting bored of this. They're showing so much respect to OG. You get to the point of, are you showing too much respect?
Yeah, could you just run your heads into Roshan and just take it off them?
They probably could. When you're 18k up with these heroes and a Void who pretty much does nothing right now in terms of damage, he relies on everyone else, then yeah, I think Liquid, they are showing a little bit too much respect.
Okay, well, they'll clear out the area, come back into Roshan.
But they don't have vision here, though. Look at so this is the one good thing for Dai right now. They're the one that have the best vision here. So if, in a crazy scenario, you hit the perfect chrono, they do have the vision advantage. Does that help? Not really. You're 18k behind.
They're coming over.
They're trying.
Looking to fight this one. Hookshot's got to come in forwards. Roche is pretty low here. Can they actually get this one? Mortimer's Kiss is coming over through, but it's a BKB Lycan. Not doing much. Meanwhile, Madara control the front lines. They're going to go in. Mickey does get the Aegis. OG get the kill. Meanwhile, in comes the Mortimer's Kisses in response here, doing way more work. They're able to just pepper Seb down. They've used the Chronosphere, and they're not getting anything for it. Mickey's just too tanky. Madara's doing literally no damage as Boxy's getting taken out, losing his HP slowly, but Sax is going to go down first, and Boxy, he's absolutely fine. You don't get through the Centaur that easily. Madara might find Mickey, maybe does able to do so, but that's your Aegis carrier. That's your doggy with 2 lives, and he's coming back. Meanwhile, No Tail, he's on the run. Not going to be able to make it out, though. Gets beaten down. These ghosts going to town, and Liquid just doing what they want, when they want, whenever they want in this game. And Roshan gets taken. They might lose the Aegis immediately afterwards, but trading 2 kills for it, and all of the ultimates, that's a big thing. Now your Chronosphere is down. Now your Mortimer's Kisses are down. OG, they've laid down the welcome mat. Come on in, boys. The high ground is probably going to go theirs.
Yeah, they have nothing to get onto this DP and stop him. Like, look at the Surge Centaur running into the backline. Meanwhile, DP just hits his tower. Yeah, it's plain sailing right now for Liquid.
And Seb
trying to do whatever he can. But
they've got a Yules if they want to keep him really locked down here, but yeah, just focusing on the barracks. Sax are trying to make something happen to the backlines, maybe finding an opening onto... no, absolutely not. Samel and Sax are both thrown in the bin, and now Madara, yeah, cool, 5-man vacuum into him.
It was kind of cute, yeah.
Getting all his health back from Time Walk. Doesn't really matter what spells you're using at this stage. No Tell sitting on the front lines, Samel jumping in forwards, but the 2-man left coming through, and now Mickey's got the ultimate, he's got the BKB as well, chasing down Madara with the shapeshifter. Crits coming through, they take down the Void. He's going to throw in the buyback for now, trying to run forwards, but under the tier 4s, Liquid will go. They're doing the damage, they've got to be a little bit careful here, but No Tail dropping, does die. No buyback, Sax are going to go the same way as well. Only 3 heroes, make it 2. Boxy's low, but has the cheese, has her heals coming out. Madara, what can you do at this stage? 7 Madara just trying desperately to see if they can force a mistake, hold on to this game, and maybe they might be able to keep it going a little bit longer, but Liquid, right now just seem happy to stay on this high ground. And Seb, under the tier 4s, jumped, stomped, dead, buyback from him.
They're showing tenacity.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's all they can do. We'll buy back and try and keep this game going for an extra minute or two, but yeah, they've got nothing to do right now. The Darkseer Void, they've got nothing to present to this push. 5v2, yeah, this is most likely going to be Mega Creeps, or it is Mega
Dara
Creeps.
BKB popped. They've got a vacuum coming out once again, but I mean, he's just taken so much. He's able to get the time walk, but they'll just keep on hitting those barracks.
Yes.
There's nothing to stop them. Megas have been gained.
He's just tickling them right now.
Yeah, coming over with a feather, and they just punch you back with a boxing glove, and you're like, well.
That's about it. Creeps pushing in, yeah. There's one last fight in OG, maybe to try and, you know, prevent them from ending now, but it's so, yeah, this is...
One more combo, one more try, OG.
Oh yeah, they're going to give us one last fight.
What have you got? Probably not Koikva, probably not Boxy.
They don't even have Fortify.
Probably no.
Here we go.
Oh, here comes the Kisses,
Oh,
but
no,
unfortunately
Dara.
lifted. Oh no, doesn't get the chrono off, and he's got no buyback either. They're trying to keep Koikva locked down. I mean, you landed pretty much all your Kisses, and Koikva's down to about half HP, doesn't care. Doggy goes chasing and finds himself Seb, that little chew toy, as he runs him into the fountain. Meanwhile, Koikva getting kind of low here, but he's got the Yules. He's going to keep himself alive as they take down some mail. The buildings are falling, and Koikva is plenty healthy now as they take out Saxa, the Ancient. It will certainly fall, and this game is going to belong to Liquid. Almost like it was telegraphed, almost like it was completely expected. Panel get it right, and it all comes falling down in their favor.
Yeah, it was crushing. When you see Lycan alone is annoying